Hello everyone and welcome to today's 12-minute full body workout. Let's start straight away with a warm-up. Jump into some arm circles, some trunk rotations, and let's get the full body ready for today's workout. We're going to move into some hip openers and then we're going to jump straight in. Today's format is 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest, and we'll be repeating 2 rounds of all the exercises that we do today. So grab yourself a pair of dumbbells and set yourself up for a squat. You need your feet hip width apart, your toes pointing forward, and you're going to come down as if you're sitting in a chair. If you have 2 dumbbells, you can rack these on your shoulders like I have, but if you only have one, you can do it more in a goblet squat format, which would just involve you holding that dumbbell out in front of you. It's completely up to you. And of course, if you need to, you can do this without dumbbells too. Make today's workout about you and any adjustments you need. Everyone's fitness looks a little different, and that's okay. We all start somewhere. The fact that you showed up today is a testament to your commitment to your health, and that's something you should be super excited about. Alright, we deserve that 20-second rest. Let's pop the dumbbells down. I've just come down onto my knees here. We're going to get set up for our next exercise, which is our shoulder press. If you can't tell already, this is Archie, and of course he's the main character here. So we're going to grab those dumbbells, we're going to pop them up onto our shoulders, and we're going to push up with our arms coming towards our ears. Just make sure you don't lock your elbows out at the top. Now, if you're watching this as you follow along, you can probably see the pain on my face. I did a shoulder work earlier this morning, so my shoulders were severely burnt out and I was in struggle town. If you haven't done a shoulder workout like me, you should be okay, so keep on pressing those dumbbells up. I know you're doing an amazing job, but I have to pop these down because my shoulders just can't take it. Keep on pressing, or if you're not using dumbbells, just follow along with me in this sort of action, pressing the arms up as if we were holding the weights towards our ears. Okay, that well-deserved 20-second rest that we were really hoping for, and then we're going to move into our next exercise, which is going to be our Romanian deadlift. For this one, it's a hinging activity, so we're going to have the dumbbells brushing down our legs the entire time to protect our back. The only part of us that's moving is our hip joint, and our back is staying straight. And of course, Mr. Archie is watching a bird right now, so that's why he's in his little staunch. Keep on pressing down. And you're really pulling back up through the hips, so you're kind of squeezing those glutes back in. It's like pressing the glutes towards a wall and then pulling them back in. You're doing a fantastic job. This one's really hard, so make sure you're doing it slow and controlled. And of course, if you feel like you're starting to struggle, you can drop those dumbbells and just follow along with the movement if you need to. Let's pop those down, we'll have a bit of a rest, and we'll move into our next exercise very shortly, which is our bent over dumbbell row. Okay, let's grab those weights, guys. We're going to pop our arms straight out in front of us. We're going to kind of hinge over like that deadlift movement, but we're not moving through the legs. We're just pulling our elbows back behind our body. And as you can see on this side view, you're going to pause slightly and very briefly at the top and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Perfect. And just remember never to lock your joints out. So we're not locking our elbows at the bottom. We're just extending and then pulling straight back with that little squeeze at the top. You may like to think of it as squeezing, a grapefruit or mandarin between your shoulder blades and you're trying to crush that fruit. That's a really good way to get, the idea of the feeling we're after here. Alright, so we're already at the last exercise of this round, which is amazing. We're pretty much halfway through at this point. So come down onto your mat and you're going to lay down in a crunch position. Fantastic. Okay, so crunching up, we're going to want to keep our back flat on the ground. We're going to have our elbows wide, and we're really moving up through the abdominals. We're not pulling our head or neck. That whole movement is coming from the upper abdominal area. Keep on crunching and keep on breathing. Don't underestimate how important it is to breathe, especially during core exercises. Make sure you're sucking that belly button to your spine. Keep on going. I know it hurts. Slow and controlled is the way. Fantastic. So this is us at halfway, which is amazing. You guys should be so proud of yourself for showing up for you today and getting some movement in. Maybe you've decided to do this workout outside like I have and getting some fresh air and just doing something nice for yourself because you can. So we're going to repeat all of those exercises now. We just have a little bit of a break here, about 30 seconds to reset. And we're going to come back into that squat. So once you're ready, pop those dumbbells back up on your shoulders, squat down like you're sitting in a chair. Make sure those knees are coming out over those toes. We're not wanting them to fold in. I know it's easy to do when we get fatigued, but it's important to push out over those toes. Make sure we're doing the movement safely and make sure we're working the correct muscles. So the squat movement is a really great compound lift. We're able to work our quadriceps, which is the front of the legs, our hamstrings, which is the back, and of course our glutes, which is our bottom. So coming up and down, you've got this. I know it hurts. Fantastic. Well-deserved 20-second break before we head into the shoulder press. Hopefully you have a puppy or a cat or maybe a baby that you can cuddle to in your breaks, and that always makes it a lot more fun. And as you can tell, Archie's a very cuddly boy and he wanted to be part of the workout too. We're jumping straight into the shoulder press. Of course I don't have the dumbbells here, but you should have no excuses unless you did a shoulder workout today already. So pump those dumbbells up, bringing your arms towards your ears, remembering not to lock your elbows out at the top. You've got this. Keep on coming up and up. Don't stop now. We're already in the second round and it's only a 12-minute workout today, so let's give it everything we've got. Push it up. Remember to keep breathing. You've got this. Just a little longer. Okay, that 20-second rest is here. And we know our next exercise is that hinging movement, that RDL or deadlift. So let's prepare ourselves for that one. If you jump back up and grab your dumbbells. Set yourself up. Bend down, hinge through the hips. You can have a slight bend in your knees when you do this, just remembering that the only joint that's moving should be the hips. Fantastic. Remember to rub those dumbbells down your legs. If anything about the movement doesn't feel right, drop the dumbbells and try to do this just running the palms of your hands down towards your shins. If this is your first time doing a hinge movement, it can be a little difficult, so be proud that you've given it a go, but just make sure that you are doing this movement correctly if you are going to be using weights. So we're coming down and up, and we're at that 20-second rest. Take a bit of a breather. And of course our next exercise, which was the bent over dumbbell row, we're going to jump into that very shortly. And that's the second last exercise of today's class, guys. Okay, we're grabbing those dumbbells, we're hinging over, we're bringing our elbows back behind us, and we're squeezing our shoulder blades at the top. Remember, like I said, if you had a piece of fruit in between your shoulder blades, you're trying to crush that fruit. You should be feeling it in your upper back, and this is really working the back side of our body and also some of our arms, so some of our biceps and triceps as we bring those weights down. Again, keep it slow and controlled. Don't lock your elbows out at the bottom. Keep on pulling and pulling. You're doing such a great job. Fantastic. We've made it to the last exercise already, which is kind of sad. The workout's nearly over. You guys have done so great, but we're going to come down onto the mat and get ready and set up for our crunch. Alright, come on down, guys. This is our last one. Remember, not pulling our head up, we're really moving through the upper abdominals and we're sucking our belly button towards our spine. That's really going to engage our core. Remember to keep on breathing. Keep your elbows wide. It's very easy for them to fold in, but the wider they are, the less likely you are to be pulling on your neck. Keep breathing, you guys have got this. Remember, it's the last exercise of this workout, and then we're going to head into a nice stretch. Keep on going. We're nearly there. Give me a couple more and you're done. That is fantastic. I'm going to come down onto my knees here. I'm just going to give us a tricep and shoulder stretch, pulling the arm across the body. We're going to hold that for a little bit. It's a really good time to catch your breath now and start slowing your breathing down. Let's swap arms. Pull the other arm across your body. And it's really important that we do adequate warm-ups and cool-downs. Who doesn't love a side stretch? Let's stretch on over, put one hand on your hip, and let the other arm fall over, really stretching out the side of your body, which we work today in multiple of our exercises. And switching to the other side. Okay, everyone's favourite stretch, the child's pose. Let's come on down, bring our hips to our heels, our hands are out in front of us. That's going to be really great for stretching out our upper back and our hips, which we certainly worked in the rows, squats and deadlifts. Amazing. We can't forget to stretch out our legs, so we're going to jump up straight into a quad stretch, bringing one leg behind you and catch that foot, bring it to your butt. We're going to hold, really just trying to lengthen out the muscles after we've used them today. Keep breathing. You should be feeling the stretch down the front of your leg. And then we're going to switch sides and do the same thing. It should feel really good. You don't want to feel pain in your stretch. You just want to feel like you're, getting enough out of it that it's doing something, but not causing any scar tissue. Okay, our hamstring stretch. We're going to bring one foot straight out in front of us, bend the other leg. We're going to reach down and grab the toe that we're pointing up to the sky. We should be feeling that stretch in the back of the straight leg. So push your hips back, fantastic, and switch sides. Depending on how flexible your hamstrings are, you may be able to straighten that leg a little more than I can. I have pretty tight hamstrings, so I struggle a little bit, but everyone's flexibility will look different. Lovely, and that's pretty much all for today's workout. Thanks so much for watching.